The headlines: Head of Service defends suspension of directors. Presidency speaks on President Buhari position on youth. Court doubtful over Metu's ill health claims. And in sports, Arsene Wenger to leave Arsenal end of season. This and many more stories in a moment. I am Cynthia Agbo with the PM News on Television, Nigerian. The head of service of the Federation, Wilfred Oyoita, has laid to rest a contentious issue before the House of Representatives Committee on Emergency and Disaster Preparedness investigating the activities of the National Emergency Management Agency. The head of service said that the suspension of the directors and staff of the agency was in order and in line with public service rules. She also said the Governing Council has the power to suspend directors and other staff of the agency if the situation warrants it. A committee of the House of Representatives had invited the head of service to guide aid on the procedure for suspending staff of the agency and to ascertain if the Governing Council had the power to suspend the 6 staff of the agency. Represented by a permanent secretary of the service, Mustafa Suleiman, the committee members were taken through disciplinary processes in the public service rules. The presidency has denied media reports that President Muhammadu Buhari derided Nigerian youth. A statement by the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, said that the story is typical of the handiwork of manipulators who twisted the statement of the president at the Commonwealth Business Forum in London. The presidential spokesman said the report interpreted the president's comment to mean that he had taken all Nigerian youths to the cleaners. He added that President Buhari has always applauded and celebrated Nigerian youth who excel in different areas of endeavor, from sports to academia and other realms. The Federal High Court, Abuja, has expressed doubt as to whether the claim of ill health by Olufemi Metu, the ambassador, the former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, is true. The trial judge, Justice Okona Bang, said this while delivering a ruling on an application seeking the release of Metu's international passport to enable him to travel abroad for medical treatment. The judge wondered why Metu appealed the decision of the trial court that had nothing to do with his health, but refused to appeal those that dealt directly with his health. Justice Abang held that there was a hidden agenda by Metu to present the court as inhuman by filing the same application for the trial court a 3rd time rather than going on appeal. The presiding justice agreed with the argument of the prosecution that filing the application for a 3rd time was unpardonable and reckless abuse of judicial processes. Still ahead, presidency gives casualty figures from headers farmers clash, and then sports Arsene Wenger to leave Arsenal end of season. There's many more to come.
Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. All-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence. For almost a decade, the Nigerian Army have given their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live with indelible scars occasioned by their determination to protect the country, no matter the hurdle. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today all territories the insurgents want to control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria.
Thanks for staying tuned. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mustafa, says that over 257 persons were reportedly killed following the incessant clashes between herders and farmers. Boss Mustafa disclosed this at the opening ceremony of the Federal and State Security Administrators meeting in Katsina. The SDF, who was represented by his permanent secretary, Suleiman Haliru, said the figure was recorded in 30 incidents, including the recent incident. Haliru, who doubled as the chairman of the firm, mentioned about 7 states that were affected by the incidents. According to him, within the last few months, the government has recorded a total of over 30 incidents, which claimed life of more than 257 persons within this year alone. Moving on to sport, Arsene Wenger has announced he will bring his 22-year stay in charge of Arsenal to an end at the end of the season. According to him, after careful consideration and following discussions with the club, I feel it is the right time for me to step down at the end of the season. He added he is grateful for the privilege to serve the club for many memorable years. Wenger, 68, won 3 Premier League titles, leading the only side to go full league season unbeaten in 2003 to 2004, and led 7 FA Cups during his tenure. However, he has been under increasing pressure to step down from the club's fan for several seasons, as Arsenal haven't won the Premier League for 14 years and risk missing out on Champions League qualification for the 2nd consecutive season. The season has ended for Liverpool Taiwo Awoniyi in Belgium after he suffered a hamstring injury at KV Krotijan Wednesday. The playoff game was therefore Awoniyi's last game for Royal Mouscron, as he is expected to move to a big club in the new season. The 20-year-old striker has been impressive in the tail end of the season in Belgium, scoring twice in the playoff and also being nominated for the Team of the Week twice. He has previously played on loan in Holland and Germany. Moving to the foreign scene, Iraq says it has carried out deadly airstrikes against fighters of the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant situated in pockets inside neighboring Syria. The announcement comes days after Haider al-Abadi, Iraq's prime minister, said his country would take action against ISIL if the fighters threaten Iraq's security. Iraqi F-16 fighter jets crossed into Syria on Thursday in coordination with the Syrian army. Miguel Diaz-Canel has been sworn in as Cuba's new president, replacing Raul Castro, who took over from his ailing brother Fidel in 2006. It is the first time since the revolution in 1959 that a Castro is not at the helm of the government. Mr. Diaz-Canel had been serving as first vice president for the past 5 years. Even though Mr. Diaz-Canel was born after the revolution, he is a staunch ally of Raul Castro and is not expected to make any radical changes. That's the PM News on Television Nigerian. A look at the major stories again. Head of Service Defense suspension of directors. Presidency speaks on President Buhari's position on youth. CAF doubtful over Metu's ill health claims. And in sports, Arsene Wenger to leave Arsenal end of season. Remember, your vote is your power. Get your PVC today to direct the future of the country in 2019. I am Cynthia Agbodio. Have yourself a wonderful day.